the drug delivery system is conventional. When it is conventional, it is easily flowable, that follows the Newtonian flow, which is required for the administration of a drug. Whereas it will get converted into non-Newtonian, which is actually needed for sustaining the release of a drug. And that is possible with these two polymers, that is of carbopol, which is actually sensitive to this polymer is actually sensitive to the temperature, whereas this polymer is actually sensitive to the pH. There is, as we are aware that there is a 7.4 pH for the lacrimal fluid, whereas the product will have the pH of 4. Once it's get instilled, there will be a change in the pH from 4 to 7.4, which is instilled at the thalamic side. So due to that change, there will be change in the physical form of the solution, which will get converted into gel. The same properties again attached with this chloronic. Because of the body temperature, the normal room temperature is maybe between 25 to 30, whereas our physiological temperature it is of 37 degrees Celsius. Due to that change also, there will be change in the formulation or the change in the physical form of the drug. So here there are 5 formulations we have prepared. This is the evaluation properties. We have selected the third one because of its drug content and the property which will shows that is of jelly capacity, and here we have designed or fabricated a reality test in the lab because we don't have that one. Now we can see here the result of that one. Non-physiological condition, that is of pH 4, that is of bottle, at room temperature the viscosity is of this much, whereas there is increase in the viscosity at pH 7.4, that is of physiological pH and physiological temperature. We have achieved the increase in the viscosity. Increase in the viscosity will retain the formulation at the particular site, so that they will be sustaining the action of that particular drug. With that, we can increase the bioavailability. Here is the comparative drug release. Now the mechanism involved in that, the micelle gets converted into a rigid gel. What is the outcome of the previously discussed study? Here, the best formulation selected is of F3, which will have 0.3% of chloronic, 12% of carbopol with percentage drug release 94.5%. With that, we can sustain the release of a drug, and the same is the results are again forwarded for a publication in the form which are going to be get published soon. Now, next topic is of again related with the smart drug delivery system is of nanomedicine, which are again nanotechnology. We are very much aware, but the utilization of that nanotechnology in our part of medicine is somewhat of creative or smartness. So here, the nanomedicine is the exploration of that nanomaterial for the delivery of a drug to again sustain to target the particular site. And the advantage which we are looking for this one is here, because all of us just need the grant to publish, to do work. Once there is a nano, there might be a chances to get more grants, which is again a practice in US also. So this nanomaterial is again basically classified depending upon their configuration into 4 and so on, depending upon the configuration. But I have selected only 4 just to reduce the time in the presentation. The first one is of nanoparticle, nanocapsule, nanogel, and fluorines. Let's start with this is the considerations. Now here I am not discussing about the nanoparticle formulation, how it is. We are all aware about this one and we have already prepared this one. Now today I am going to discuss the disadvantages of preparation or making those nanoparticles. As we are again aware that nanoparticles are again going to be taken up by various cells are going to be transported till the cell level. So it is going to create a problem even at the organelle side. Unnecessarily there will be an exposure of a particular drug to the whole body, not to the whole body, to the tissues, cells. So there will be toxicity is created. Instead of getting the benefit effect, we are going to have a toxicity. Here is a review which shows that there will be damage, there will be passage of drug if it is administered in the nanoparticle to the brain. As we are aware that blood-brain barrier, this is again very much rigid, which does not allow the drug to be get permeated, but that same can be achieved by nanoparticle. So unnecessarily there will be an exposure of a drug to the brain side also, if there is no smartness in the preparation of that nanoparticle. This is the preparation, which I can see can be avoided at once. So here the next type is of nanocapsules. It is same as that of capsule, which is again enclosing the drug into the shell of polymer with a nanoscale. This is again applied for the cancer as well as neurosciences. This is the preparation where there is an example coded like hydrogen polymer, solvent, ethyl acetate, and the stabilizing agent PVA, oximer. Solution is the water. Here the first hydrogen, ethyl acetate, and stabilizing agent is added, and it is sonicated or applied a high energy will. Then it is get diluted in the water, by which we are going to get the nano capsules. Now here it's about the nanogel. Nanogel is again prepared with an interaction of the biological polymer or the smart polymer, and here is the bonding which is responsible for making the gel. This is a weak bonding, hydrogen bonding or hydrophobic interactions. There is an example of applying the nanogel for the ophthalmic preparations. By taking an example, the model drug here utilizes of pilocarpine, as we are aware that pilocarpine is required to reduce the intraocular pressure, and the dosage regimen is quite difficult for our conventional drug delivery system. We have to apply 15 doses in a 24 hours to reach our objective of health, but the same can be done with a single or one application of this nanogel, which will continuously releases the drug for 24 hours. Next one is of fluorines. It is actually known as buckybell, which is consists of 60 carbon atoms. This technology is again utilized for the killing of cancer cells, not for the drug enclosure, but this buckyball ball itself will kill the cancer cell because of singlet oxygen can be generated with this isotope, that is of carbon-60. Next, somewhat advancement in the same topic, as we are aware that we need the self-regulation, we need the integrated sensing, we need the monitoring, remote activation to release the drug, which is actually a new concept that can be achieved with this micro electromechanical drug delivery system, which is basically, in short, it is known as microchip. Microchip is actually needed. Why we needed this one is because this will release the drug according to the requirement. Now this micro electromechanical drug delivery system is actually a type of implant which is processed one, which is with the help of engineer we can design this one. Now this is basically classified into 3 microchips, smart film, reservoir implantation devices. Let's have an idea one by one. This one is of microchip, which will be of having 2 types, that is of single reservoir, multiple reservoir. The single reservoir will release the one type of a drug depending upon the requirement. Multiple reservoir will release the different types of a drug. Here how it looks, and here how it can be fabricated and how it can be implanted. The advancement of this one is again a smart pill, which will have 3 components. One is of sensor, next one is a processor. The processor will gives you the action, action will be in the form of drug release. Let's have an idea one by one. This is equipped with the sensor, the smart pill itself equipped with the sensor, and which will detect the environmental condition. Condition will be dependent upon the enzymatic change. Condition will be dependent upon like previously what we have seen, temperature change, pH change, and that will gives the information. The change in the environment gives the information to the processor. The processor will take the decision, and the decision will be in the form of action. That action will be the release of a drug depending upon those responses. So here is the assembly of that smart pill, which how it will releases the drug, and here is how it looks. Now whatever we have discussed is a hypothesis, or there is some reality in that one. Yes, there is a reality. What is that reality? There are various companies who are working to make this microchips into a reality. Some of them are written here. That is the first one is the Geneva TM. This is the product name. The drug therapeutic is aciclovir, and it is under the phase 3 studies. Now here is already marketed one as Cargate, which will have the aspirin for cardiovascular diseases, and this is approved for marketing in 10 European countries. Now there is again an advancement in the previously discussed topic. What is that advancement? This is a reservoir implantation devices. This reservoir implantation devices will activate the release of a drug, which will depend upon the control, that is of remote control, and that remote control will be given to the doctor or the patient. So what it means, depending if suppose I have equipped with the implant, that implant is having all of the drugs. Now there is a change in the temperature, so there will be a change in my body temperature. That body temperature can be sensed by the processor, which is the drug, directly, which is previously discussed topic. Now, depending upon the which type of a drug should be get released, the same is sent to the doctor or the physician. He will take the decision and he will give you the command, not to you, but he will give the command to the machine, that is of implant, and that is going to release the drug depending upon the decision of the doctor who has taken that one. Now, with all those, we can, as all of us are working directly or indirectly, just to reduce the death, just to cure the disease, just to extend the lifespan. Yes, we can do those all things by the utilization of smart drug delivery system with the present available technology which we have. And here is an example which recently I have seen, 127 years, still we can increase this lifespan more. Yeah, she's alive. She's alive. Mexican, but origin of China. Yes. So I don't think this is the end of the topic, but from here onwards, we can make the team to do work on some of this topic, because we have an excellent intellectual with different departments. We can utilize the toxicology department, as we have discussed previously. There is a toxicology of the nanoparticle, so we can make them to get some better technology, a better thing for the utilization of the mankind. So this is an acknowledgement.
Also, is he still alive?
But whatever you have seen is not the correct one, because there will be a various person who has worked for that person. So here might be team members who has maintained the balance, so that this man is doing some play. So here the same thing I have done, whatever I have done or shown you people is just because of the backbone or the backbone of all this team. This is actually my student who is presently in the university, and with him I have co-authored one chapter of this nanotechnology. And he is the person from whom I have learned some of these topics, because I have done an extensive literature survey and I have made many people, but this is actually a guy who has responded me with some positive results. So I have acknowledged him also. And this is the person who has actually translated the topic in an Arabic and given me the drug sample to do this research work. And my HOD, who is always an spirit of what do you say, it will be for do new thing, or actually he also helped me to get the sample of the IR spectra analysis, because I am unaware with the instrument which is available here. I have done an instrument which is somewhat different, and always my students present and past who has associated with me and given me some idea about the new technology, because I am old, that is of 36 years. I might not have studied all this one which I have shown you, but these are the guys who has given me some clips, shown me some clips and given me, and that creates an idea, so that I have prepared all these slides. Thank you very much.
interesting and very informative lecture. When we talk about the guest, the host, the drug and the case that will deliver the drug, there are many factors that will face what will make it not that very easy, to do selection, which host is suitable for which guest, and also how how does the guest attract the host, and how can we release it? There are many factors. So when you do research like this, what factor that you think that the most important in the whole process?
That is what? That is correct. Whatever even we define. This is actually a question for the first part, that is of smart polymers. The second generation, the third generation, we have just come up with the solution of all those problems. We can directly deliver the drug depending upon the requirement, sensations. By utilization of electronics devices or electrode chips. So there will be no utilization of all those polymers, which will again have a problem of sensing, releasing, and interactions. So we can avoid all those one in the third generation, which just now I have discussed.
So these factors will be...
Yeah, that can be avoided in some part, not totally, 100% not solved. 100% not solved, but we can avoid 80% of that.
Please, seems very interesting.
Thank you.
Thank you for your talk. But I want to ask one question. You mentioned that some drugs are approved, for example, aspirin and then European countries. But what hinders approval in other countries? What is the drawback which hinders other countries to follow?
The first thing I can say you is expensive. First thing, because like in India, we are not very much acquainted with this type of a technology, right? Nowadays, we are just making the cluster of taking the sharing the knowledge with other groups, other colleges, so that we can utilize this technology for our benefit. This actually, the technology is not new. This is utilizing them in an industrial basis. But you can find a number of papers. But all those papers or patents are not actually useful. But if we know this technology, we can utilize that in a better way. Engineers are publishing n number of papers on this one with utilization of old drugs, which might be not that much of useful, but we know how to use better way that particular drug. So if we are acquainted, if we know this technology, we can utilize that one in a better way as compared to the other technical rates. That is my opinion.
Only expense. Only
expense, and we are not that much aware with the technology. See, that country might have prepared that one, might have designed that one, might have taken the patent on that. So we can't take that one because again we have to spend on that technology.
What about biosafety?
Biosafety?
Yes.
Biosafety is, I think it will be more as compared to the conventional one, because in conventional one we are just administering the drug. We don't know whether it is required or not, whether it is required in that much concentration. As we are aware with the pharmacokinetic studies, there may be a suffix which may be increase or decrease in the dosage regimen is required. But all those things can be sensed in this technology, which is not done in the conventional way.
Just to comment or question.
You're welcome for that. Because I'm the student of this technology.
Because I didn't hear you talking about the smartness of the device regarding to the use of magnetic issue. First of all, I would like to how you mention the use of the magnetic, which system exactly you use, is it or others use? Because I worked before in a system using this smartness device. They're using the super magnetic iron oxide system, right? This system make such availability for the magnetic smartness to the devices or added, right? And my comment is, we know all that all these systems, the smart system, is still in the lab process, and even those countries making the drug available in their market, it's still under the regulations. It is not. I mean, it is under restriction for their use. It is not for all the people. It is not open for the market in the basis. Just this is comment for Dr. Ahmed and Dr. Jamaal.
Yeah, that's true. That was the story. I think it is about 3-4 years back. This is the story. I think so, because the latest news or updates about the topic says that there is an industry come up only to design or to fabricate a drug delivery system, microchip, that is in Canada, which is recently it's get open for this technology. So might be in future there will be more competition between the companies, so there will be more research, so that we are going to have better technology as compared to the existing one. That all happen if you are going to work. Sure.
I have a question regarding the market share, because this system seems very useful, but I think these are not paper only. So what is your idea about the market share? Have you even seen this methodology and coming in the market? What is the ratio of ARS per calculation of this form? Because these are most commonly used. So what is the percentage of these technologies?
Yeah, I can correlate this question with an answer that we can't design a new drug which will be more expensive 10 years. We need a final result will be dumped into the lab because of not bioavailability application. So we can use those all dumb drug, previously discovered drug into an innovative way. So we can use those drugs, we can utilize that much of amount, that much of time just to generate, just to make the advancement of the technology so that we can solve the existing problems. Instead of working on the area which is already getting saturated, let's have an opening to work on the new techniques.
I think there is a hypothesis working now. They said that within 10 years, 10 years to 15 years from now, all the market formula now, or devices, or whatever, the ordinary drugs in the market will disappear and will be substituted with the smartest devices.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
hope.
this is
That is what we have seen.
Sorry?
For me, I don't think about that.
No, you have to.
As long as there is a lot of variation in economy between people and countries, as long as politics play an important role, as long as there are so many factories old and they have to exist and remain in the market, this cannot succeed.
It's not easy. The problem
No, it's
is,
not easy at all.
The problem is you keep discovering new molecules, and these molecules, it will not go to the ordinary or the traditional devices, which is now. But all these new molecules, it will go to the smartest devices, which is very expensive. This is the problem. Worldwide.
That's what I'm saying. It won't succeed as long as there is economic variation in the world. Poverty is a must. And you can take your census. They all concentrate on poverty, unfortunately.
But I can feel that there is a future, because practically you can observe that one. Previously we have used a phone basic phone. Now every one of us are using smartphones.
That is absolutely different. That's not medicine.
So there will be
We are talking about medication now. Medication is we have the cheapest in the world and we must remain as such. So that's different.
God only knows, you know.
And of course,
What will
the
happen
price
in
will go
5
down.
years?
The price will go down. Remember, before 10 years ago, we would pay like 10,000 to get a phone. Now, for 6,000.
I think Chinese people will learn something and it will become cheaper.
Let's let us try for that. Thank you very much for your